And the first part, Bob Crane had the house, and you would dress him, and people would know who this person was. He was part of the family. You didn't know what the space between the words. You didn't know it was growing. And so, yes, of course he was likable in the beginning, and he had this nervous pace that you never wanted to camouflage in the clothes. And he had his family, he had the wife, but then something happened, and the whole silhouette, it was as if, like a Francis Bacon painting, the inside came out. And that's why, you do films where you have a great budget for padding, and you want somebody to walk a certain way. And I've done many where you don't want somebody to see the padding. We used birdseed. There was just something about holding that mass, and yet you knew maybe it wasn't just fat. Maybe it was something that was always there, and that just pushed forward. So you never tried to camouflage it. So as his trousers got tighter, and as his shirts got smaller, as William Dafoe's character became more glorious, and you used him to sneak into the world, the rock and roll world, that's where you saw. That was the hook. You saw a man who knew what was contemporary in William Dafoe, but it was sloppy and rancid, and then he became the same, but never could go forward, and the other person could never go back. So you designed this marriage, and with Schrader, you just designed. I use this sometimes, and every once in a while you get a script like this where you realize that you're not designing what's there. You're putting the costumes before the moment and after the moment. So when that body floated in that pool, somewhere there was a moment where you dressed that a long time ago. And
or didn't dress it.
Or didn't dress it. Yeah, that's right. Didn't dress it.
Greg, I know one of the things that you said is that Bob kind of had the thing, he had the potent, the really sort of combustible combination of being a celebrity and being a sex addict at the same time, which, really, because I think as Larry said, if you're a sex addict and you're not a celebrity, you have to kind of go out and do all that work to try to have sex with somebody, whereas Bob Crane, women were throwing themselves at him, which really kind of led to his downfall. One of the things that I've always wondered, where obviously if Bob Crane if this was going on today, it would be very hard to sort of get away with this a la Lindsay Lohan. It's kind of hard. How many people back then were aware of what he was doing? Did the studio, did they know about this?
It's amazing that he made 2 films for Disney.
Yeah.
At the peak of his behavior.
Yeah, but even like during Hogan, did people know this
It was
was
the time
going
of the
on?
sexual revolution, and I think what I really like about the project is that it's a slippery slope. That I think actually Bob Crane does think of himself as being a good guy, and he's not doing anything terrible. It's kind of happens, and then it happens again, and it happens again. So it's I think it took a long time for people to realize that, oh my God, he has a problem. And even at that, in the 1970s and 60s, people didn't talk about sex addiction. It was just, it was a commercialization of sex. That was the highlight of it.
But the amount of photographs and the amount of images and the amount of videotape that he did have was really extensive, and Paul had a pretty good, sizable collection of it. And I remember sitting down with him right from the get-go and getting a preview of that, and it was wonderful.
Doesn't the other son have a website where I think he has some of this stuff up there, I believe?
Yes,
Is
Scotty
that true?
used to. I don't know if he still does.
That's kind of amazing. Why don't tell us kind of how you put the cast together, what kind of was the order?
It was we had Greg before we had anything really. We had the script, and Scott had read the